Right, joining us live now, former India captain, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. And Mr. Gavaskar, I'm going to take a cue from what MS Dhoni said about the fast bowlers. It's not very often that fast bowlers win India matches. We'll talk about the batsmen a little later, but let's talk about Dinda first. You know, with the pressure on, it can't be easy to bowl as many Yorkers as he did.
No, it is not, and full credit to him because he also mixed it up. He also used the slower one. It's only at the initial stages with the new ball that he gives the batsman just a little bit of room around the off stump and he gets taken for runs. And if you can just control that just a little bit, bowl wicket to wicket, then I think he'll be less expensive. But certainly I think he showed good heart. Even in that T20 game in Mumbai, he really showed some good heart till that last ball, which unfortunately he bowled on a length and was clobbered for a six. But that last over in Mumbai also was a pretty good over. Yes, I think Dinda is somebody who has learned from his previous matches, and that's what cricket is all about. I think if you learn from your mistakes and try and avoid them the next time, it's only going to do you and your team a lot of good.
All right, so the life has gone through a full circle in just 3 matches for Dinda, the villain the other day, the hero today. Lots more coming up with Mr. Gavaskar. Meanwhile, this is our stat of the day, and we're looking at most sixes hit in T20 internationals. And Yuvraj Singh there is at the number 4th spot. Of course, you know, McCullum and Watson are ahead of him, but that is also because they've played more matches than Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj Singh has a total of 53 sixes in T20 international. Going back to Mr. Gavaskar, you know, over the years, as a player, you've seen some good hitters of the ball. As a commentator, you've seen some. But would you say when it comes to hitting sixes, no one does it better than Yuvraj Singh?
Well, he hits them a fair distance, but don't forget that man, Chris Gayle. I think he hits the ball a lot further and a lot more powerfully. Of course, he's more powerfully built than UV is. But as far as timing and elegance is concerned, I think Yuvraj probably is right up there. But Chris Gayle hits the ball a fair distance. Shane Watson is another one who can power the ball. And Brendan McCullum also can do it. But Yuvraj, because of being a left-hander, he brings a different flair and different style to his big hitting.
Right, let's talk about Yuvraj Singh. And many Indian fans would want to know, with someone with as much talent as Yuvraj has, is it possible, and what is going wrong with him in his test career? You know, you've played test cricket for so long, one of the best batsmen to have played test cricket. What are the things that he can correct to be a permanent test player? Because the Indian team would need someone as talented as Yuvraj, even in the test squad.
I think it's his footwork. More than anything else, I think it's his footwork. Sometimes he's just a little bit lazy as far as his footwork is concerned. Doesn't always get to the pitch of the ball, allows the ball to sneak in between bat and pad. Doesn't always look at a ball as that being the first ball that he's received. I think that was the secret of Sir Don Bradman's phenomenal success, is that he treated every ball, even if he was past 200 or 300, he treated every ball as if it was that first ball being bowled to him. So I think if UV can do that, just improve a little bit on his footwork, get a little closer to the ball, then I think he will certainly eliminate that little gap between bat and pad, which seems to get him into trouble.
Okay, let's talk about the bowlers, and we spoke about the fast bowlers. I'm just looking at stats. Ashwin here picked up just 1 wicket, but just gave 7 runs and over, and that can be really helpful considering it was a match where the opponents needed about close to 10 runs and over and came very close. Just reiterating the fact, Ashwin there with his performance today, that he was missed in that first T20 game.
He certainly was. I think you know, he's the kind of bowler with the experience that he has in playing in the IPL in tough situations. Remember, I think he's also, before he played for India, he volunteered to bowl the super over in South Africa, and although he was taken for runs, I think the fact that, you know, he has that self-confidence is such a huge thing in the game. I think the game is all about being confident, about having the self-belief. He certainly has that, and yes, I think he's got the variety. Yes, because he's a spinner, he will occasionally be taken for runs, but if the economy rate is about 7, and he keeps picking a wicket, I think he's doing very well. I think an economy rate of 7 and at the same time picking wickets in every game means that you're doing your job as a bowler.
All right, now let me talk about Virat Kohli. And I spoke to you yesterday and you mentioned how Kohli can be a very good captain as long as he can avoid mouthing off those obscenities after reaching a record. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen anytime soon. We saw it today as well.
Yes, I think, but it is a matter of experience. I think sometimes the maturity comes through. You know, I think he is a very expressive guy. And therefore, I think sometimes, that sort of, gets the better of him. But I think over a period of time, I'm pretty certain that, that bit will go, like a lot of things changed for him and changed for the better. So I'm pretty confident that, he's a thinking cricketer. He's somebody who knows what he's got to do to try and get better on the field. And so I guess, I think he will certainly apply his mind to it and make a determined effort. And, the occasional frustrated, expression one can understand, but not every time that happens. Because, every time, if every time you get a 50 and every time you get 100, you're going to say that. It's almost as if you're saying to yourself, look, I actually don't believe I've got it. But the man must be confident enough to say that, look, I'm going to get 100, I'm going to get a 50 every match. So when it happens, the 50 happens on 100 or 100 happens, it should be an expression of joy, not an expression of, curse. That's what I'm saying.
All right, now let's talk about a man that, the more I watch of him, the bigger fan I become. Mohammad Hafiz, the Pakistani captain. We've seen him change gears. The other day, he needed to be, solid on the crease, be very careful. Today, he needed to up the tempo. He did that. Do you think he's going to be that one man India needs to be very careful against when the one days come?
I think even in Test cricket, because don't forget his quality as a spin bowler. I think I thought today that he was expecting perhaps not to bowl at all, but Afridi gave away quite a few runs, and therefore he had to come in and bowl a couple of overs, and he did a pretty decent job by doing that as well. So yes, I think he's the kind of cricketer who's learned. He's now 32 years old, so he's got the experience. He's putting his experience to good use, knowing when to accelerate, knowing when to wait for the bad ball to come along, knowing when to nudge the ball around and take the singles. So yes, he's bringing all his experience into play, and I think he's also proving to be a good leader because he's got a calm air about him. Yes, when the bowlers do things which they are not supposed to do, like we saw with Sohail Tanveer banging the ball in short on a surface like this, which really had no life, and being pulled for those two massive sixes by Yuvraj. I think he lost it just a little bit, because till then it looked to me as if Pakistan had good control over the Indian innings. And if that hadn't happened, if at that stage Yuvraj had not broken free, maybe the Indians would have been restricted to maybe 160, 165 instead of 190 plus.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.